The first advantage is the UNSC Infinity, an experimental Infinity-class supercarrier commissioned into the Navy following the Human Covenant War. The Infinity is one of the largest and most versatile ships the UNSC employs. Constructed using Forerunner and Covenant technology recovered by humans, the ship helps to level the playing field for the UNSC in their fight against them bastard aliens. The over 18,000-foot-long ship has a hull composed of the more advanced titanium A3 armor and is the first known ship to be equipped with energy shields, an essential addition to the UNSC Navy given titanium A armor's inability to stop Covenant weapons from penetrating their vessels. That sounded kind of weird. The ship contains hundreds of bays allowing for mass deployment of thousands of smaller ships, escape vehicles, and space pods. The ship is also massively armed, boasting super Mach cannons, a complex missile network for various modes of offensive and defensive combat, and nuclear warheads. Nuclear warheads. Nuclear. The next advantage is naval personnel. Not only does the UNSC have a long history of badass commanding officers, but general service people, officers, and enlisted men are also very capable. All naval personnel are adept at self-defense and firearms. The Navy runs multiple elite academies where recruits go through a basic boot camp in which they are trained, tested, and evaluated. Some recruits complete additional space training as well. Whereas unskilled workers fill up the ships in many space navies, UNSC vessels are populated by well-trained soldiers, Marines, and even Spartans. Certainly the average crew member on a UNSC Navy vessel is far more capable than the average crew member on a 40K Navy ship. But I suppose that capability doesn't really matter when the object is to die in the latter case. After personnel, the next advantage is organizational structure. The UNSC Navy doesn't just have a linear hierarchy going from top to bottom. The Navy is structured to assign different tasks to specialized departments. At the top is UNSC Naval Command, or NAVCOM. NAVCOM is then split into three commands. Fleet Command, which oversees mission structure, ship deployment, and space operations such as troop transport. Logistical Operations Command, which oversees construction, maintenance, and distribution of supplies and parts, and Naval Special Warfare Command, which oversees special operations, including Spartan 2 deployment. These commands then work in conjunction with UNSC Central Command, which oversees specific areas of space which the Navy has to operate in. Lastly, there's the Office of Naval Intelligence, which is officially subordinate to Naval Command, but at the same time often works directly with UNSC entities superior to NAVCOM. The combination of horizontal and vertical divisions of power in the Navy creates a balance of power that keeps it in check, and the division of tasks to specialized commands ensures that the Navy is operating in an efficient manner. Of course, the next advantage is the Office of Naval Intelligence, or ONI, of which many of you issued me death threats on behalf of after the flaws video. As I just alluded to, ONI is officially the intelligence gathering service of the UNSC Naval Command, but its scope of responsibilities extends well beyond that. Whereas many space navies neglect intelligence altogether, the Office of Naval Intelligence is a powerful and dynamic agency that plays a significant role across all UNSC operations. They are able to maintain a tight grip over all communication across United Earth government territories and employ citizens throughout the UEG in shadow work. They also engage in counter-espionage, propaganda, and top-secret research and development programs like the Spartan program and Project Mjolnir. They are very much the NSA, CIA, KGB, and former East German government baked into one. ONI also has a large amount of military equipment for an intelligence agency. There's the Prowler fleet, which we criticized in the last video, they have a stealth cruiser, and of course ONI exerts significant influence over the UNSC Infinity. The next advantage is energy shielding. After experiencing heavy casualties and losing many ships during the Human Covenant War, thanks to inferior armoring, the UNSC needed to develop a way for their ships to absorb Covenant plasma without sustaining serious damage. The answer came in the form of reverse engineering, KIGYAR technology to create energy shielding. Throughout the UNSC Navy, energy shielding now provides extra protection to a fleet formerly only fortified by titanium A armor. Energy shielding can be equipped on ships large or small, and is even used for non-combat reasons, such as separating pressurized areas like hangar bays from the vacuum of space. Energy shielding allows for expensive ships to be more protected from enemy fire, and thus last longer. Of course, when ships don't get destroyed, it also means less casualties and less of an expense of resources to build more ships. Thanks to energy shielding, the Navy is able to focus more on building a lesser amount of more powerful ships, like the Infinity, than on mass-producing weaker ships for a war of attrition. The next advantage to talk about is the Halberd-class destroyer. At a length of 1,590 feet, the Halberd is a smaller class warship in the UNSC Navy that is designed for offensive capability. The ship has much more mass than other ships of its size thanks to its thicker and higher quality titanium armor, thus allowing it to take a lot of damage. That said, the ship does not have the energy shielding defenses that larger ships do. So why list it as an advantage? Well, its offensive abilities compensate for what it lacks in terms of armoring. Not only is the ship fast, but they are equipped with enhanced weapon systems. They boast a spinal-mounted twin-linked MAC cannon, 26 oversized M58 Archer missile pods capable of holding over 800 Archer missiles, 3 Shiva-class nuclear missiles, and 4 twin-linked M870 Rampart point defense guns. When using Wolfpack tactics, a group of Halberds can take out some of the most powerful Covenant warships. The next advantage is the GA-TL-1 Longsword, the main starfighter employed by the UNSC Navy. The aircraft doubles as both an atmospheric and exo-atmospheric fighter and interceptor, but can also be used as an escort or bomber among other roles. The Longsword is replete with advanced technology despite being a small 4-person crew aircraft. It can incorporate artificial intelligence and can even be piloted remotely, enabling it for all sorts of more risky missions. Then of course, the Longsword is loaded with arms. Standard armament on a GA-TL-1 is the M9109 50mm machine-linked autocannon, and supplementary weapon systems can include 4 ASGM-10 missiles, different types of bombs, Marais space mines, and even a Shiva-class nuclear missile, a weapon that is used more conveniently thanks to remote piloting abilities. Perhaps best of all, the Longsword is relatively inexpensive to produce, meaning the UNSC Navy is able to deploy the ship in large numbers across their fleet. The next advantage is dropships. The UNSC Navy deploys very capable and versatile dropships, notably the Pelican and Condor. The D-77 TC Pelican and other models of the Pelican are extremely dynamic as far as dropships go. The dropship's main role, as is obvious, is rapid insertion and extraction of troops, vehicles, and equipment from the battlefield. The Pelican is also capable of both atmospheric flight and limited space flight, meaning it can transport troops from orbit to the battlefield. What makes the Pelican unique is that it is a powerful gunship in its own right. The more well-armed variants of the Pelican, such as the G77S, can be equipped with multiple missile pods, turrets, and autocannons. The D-81 LRT Condor, on the other hand, and its variants, lack the armament of the Pelican. However, what makes this ship special is that it contains a slipspace drive, meaning it is capable of faster-than-light travel and can be used to transport smaller crews across the galaxy for various missions. The next advantage is strategy and tactics. If there is an advantage that is derived from the Covenant's superior technology, it's that humans have been forced to be innovative in their strategies and planning in order to survive, and this holds true for the UNSC Navy. UNSC legend Admiral Preston Cole used creative slipspace maneuvers during the Battle of Cy Serpentis to lure a Covenant fleet into a massive onslaught of Shiva nuclear missiles, resulting in the destruction of over 300 Covenant ships. Other leaders, like Captain Jacob Keyes and Admiral Carl Patterson, are famous for achieving victories against the Covenant using creative tactics despite being overpowered. The UNSC Navy also has an array of tactical formations they use in their fleet. They have standard and specialist formations for almost every scenario in battle. It's hard to talk about specific strategy with the UNSC Navy because there isn't really any consistency over time, which is largely a good thing. They have remained innovative and are constantly changing how they approach space combat, a fact that in no small part has kept the UNSC from annihilation. And finally, our last advantage is the Nova Bomb. Yes, the Covenant has far superior technology than humans, and yet it might be possible that the most powerful weapon in the entire galaxy is wielded by the UNSC. The Nova Bomb is the king of all bombs, a cluster of 9 nuclear fusion warheads which can create a blast capable of obliterating a small planet. When the bomb was detonated above Joyous Exultation, a Covenant-governed world, it scorched a quarter of the planet's surface and shattered a nearby moon. When it was detonated on the surface of Glyke, another small Covenant-run world, the blast turned the planet into a vast cloud of debris, killing everything in, on, and around the planet instantly. Despite the UNSC Navy and larger UNSC's many weaknesses, the Nova Bomb is a very respectable trump card. Okay, it's time once again to rate the UNSC Navy on a scale of 1 to 5. Please click in the top right corner of the screen to do so, and remember to watch the flaws video and vote at the end of that one as well. Stay tuned for all our videos coming up in the series, and hit that subscribe button and notification bell, please. And if you want to follow along in Thailand, remember to follow my Instagram page at The American Ben, and to be on the lookout for the announcement of our new channel. For now, I'm American Ben, reminding you to never forget the men and women who have perished fighting aliens throughout the universe. Heroes who died protecting freedom. We fight on for them, my brethren, and for Argentina. I'll catch you next time. Generation Films, peace.